Hi, we're the Complicated Pirates, a group of college friends who enjoy all things nerdy like D&D, fantasy, and video games of all kinds, and of course, art of all three. So I wanted to take some time and apologize for the very long siesta. We haven't been around very much lately, and I also wanted to give some exciting news on our plans for the whole month of September. We're looking at adding some actual gameplay footage. I've got the rest of the pirates gung-ho and ready to go, playing games like Cold War Zombies, F1 Racing, and many other things that are still in debate. If there's any preference that you want to see, please let us know, and we're open to all suggestions. Other exciting things that are coming up, we have social media accounts on several different places. All those links will be in the description below, including Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and a couple others. Please go and follow those for art pictures, things that haven't been seen yet, and behind the scenes shenanigans, D&D clips, jokes, laughter, all that fun stuff. Another exciting tidbit is we just finished and published a website through the website Wix. Wix.com allows you to make websites for free. This isn't an ad for them, I just genuinely really like the software and I've used it a couple times before for myself and decided to make a website for us. That link will definitely be in the description below. You can go hang out with us there, enter the chat, look at the blog posts of even more behind the scenes personal things that you don't see on the regular social medias. That is also where I will jump into something that is very exciting for me personally, and that is we have finally officially opened up art commissions. And that website that I just described is the only place that you can go for information regarding those. There's a place where you can email us inquiries and a page that describes all the different packages and the things that I'm offering. Please go check that out if you have any questions, even if you want to just pop by and give your support. There's no fees unless you actually want to commission a piece. It's absolutely free to use the website and join and talk to us. And we would love to hear from you, hear all your stories, your D&D characters, anything that you want. We would love to hear from you. So yeah, that's basically what's going on in the month of September. So I'm going to leave those announcements here. Like I said, all those links will be in the description. Please go check those out after the video. And without further ado, let's get to that. Alright, well if you've been here before, I have done a previous redraw. That one was for a D&D OC named Aurora Borealis. She was the Queen of the Fae. If you're new here, then I'll have a link at the end of the video to that video as well. So I thought that it would be fun to do another redraw. I really enjoyed doing the last one and putting the old character in proper full detail. So today I'll be introducing another character, my first D&D character ever from that same campaign as Aurora, and her name is Keelan Fortuna. She is a rogue fighter multi-class. She's a changeling, and in the campaign that I played her in, there was a bunch of homebrew that the Dungeon Master made for her specifically to kind of make her a gray Jedi. So that was really fun and interesting. That was a campaign that we played to level 20, so she got to fill out all of her stats. She had several up to level 20. It was a lot of fun. She was very powerful and very fun to play. Kind of a chaotic, neutral, trickster type. That's kind of my forte, honestly. I've drawn her several times before, on and off the computer, by hand, by digital, a bunch of different mediums. Some of them not very good, I will admit, but I am excited to draw her again officially, because we started working on the novels for that campaign again, and I wanted to get back in the spirit of it and draw her in all of her glory as she will be described in those books one day. So I will be focusing on this version of her. It was the first digital version I drew of her, so it will be my reference for the redraw. I'll also keep this stat sheet up if you're curious during the video of what her main stats were. I've got all her proficiencies in there, her health, her AC, all of that stuff. So if you're curious, it's going to pop up on the right hand side of your screen every once in a while, along with the reference picture for her as the rest of the drawing process is going on. And with that, I think I'll just get into the video. I'll probably pop in here and there with a couple of neat stories that I remember, some things about her that I am very fond of, because, let's face it, we're all the biggest nerds for our own characters, and I can't help but gush about Keelan a little bit. I'll try to avoid spoilers as much as possible for the sake of the book, but no promises. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, I'd like to preface this by saying if you hear any buzzing or whirring in the background of my audio, that's because my new PC has a bad case of asthma sometimes, and it just keeps going. I'm not sure how to fix it yet. I'm probably gonna ask somebody to help me, but in the meantime, just try to ignore it. Alright, what can I say about Keelan that's not a spoiler? Ugh, that's a tough question. You're probably wondering why I'm painting her skin white, or off gray. She is a changeling, as I mentioned earlier. Changelings are derived from mostly Celtic mythology, I believe. They're a subvariant of Fae, and they're able to take on the appearance of any humanoid they have ever seen, which means they can look at another person or person-like being and change their features to look exactly like them. They are not complete shapeshifters in which they can't grow wings or horns or anything, but my girl's pretty clever, and she's gotten around that a couple times. One of her closest friends is a tiefling woman, and she was able to change her skin and facial features to look like her, and then she also adapted some of her thick hair to upturn in coils that resemble the horns as well. She's kind of like a chameleon in that way. If a chameleon was, you know, a human person and had a collection of daggers more than she can carry on her body. She is a criminal, a thief, an assassin, and her mantra is, well, her code name, I guess, her nickname is that she is Misfortune, and that was given to her by the people around her because she is predominantly a jewelry thief and only kills on a very rare occasion. As far as the campaign went, that might change in the book series. But since she's a jewelry thief and acquiring all these gems and all this money, then somebody said she must be worth a decent fortune, and then they took to calling her Misfortune. And it wasn't until halfway through the campaign, or at least a few months into the campaign, it was a decent chunk of time, that I realized that there's a very popular video game online that also has a Misfortune pirate with guns, and that was also funny because one of the other players in the campaign designed his character after another champion of that game. I don't want to say it because of copyright reasons, but if you know, you know. So that was a happy accident. But to be fair, that same person who designed a pirate hadn't ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean either, and named his ship the Black Pearl. So coincidences were to be had all around the table. It was a weird time. Don't worry, it's been fixed. He's seen the movies now. Don't worry, we got him. But I digress. I'm not really talking about my character that much. That's a shame. Favorite moments. Some of my favorite moments with Keelan, pretty early on in the campaign, I was still learning how to properly roleplay and play D&D, because I'd never done it before, but I was really eager to learn. And at one point in the Feywild, when we were exploring with Aurora and a couple other people, she and this character were bickering back and forth just non-stop all the time, and she realized when they got to the winter court of the Fey land that he had never seen snow before. And that just kind of blew her mind, that he'd never been so far inland as to go to the mountains or anything and never seen snow. And he was so confused. And they started a snowball fight, which, was cute and adorable. It was awesome. But then she got the bright idea to see if he knew what yellow snow was, and the fact that it's lemon flavored. It's great. It's a delicacy. It was successful. One of the best times to ever use a deception check. And he ended up eating yellow snow, and it was a running joke from then on. It's still a running joke. It's kind of funny. I think we might keep that in the final drafts. I hope we do. That was too pure. If anything about these characters can be pure. Another good moment is, I told you that during this campaign there was a lot of homebrew, which basically turned her into a gray Jedi, or very neutral Sith, to be honest, but it was very Star Wars themed. And there was a point when she got really adept with lightning and using lightning to attack enemies, and there was a point where one of her friends was captured by the enemy, and then everybody went to go and save her, and she went over the top, as every good queen does, and decided to get into this other realm where her friend was being kept, using force abilities, and was basically pushed into this realm. I think it was the dream realm or the astral plane. I can't remember which one. And she basically fell from the sky in a ball of lightning and punched this guy through a tree. It was glorious, and I will never roll that many dice again. Oh, I think it was over 150 damage. The DM nerfed the lightning after that because it was a little too powerful, but it was such an iconic moment that she also earned the nickname after that of the Bird of Lightning. That's one thing that I really liked about that campaign, is that we had like a collection going of nicknames and titles, kind of like badges in some video games. So there was like the Bird of Lightning, Misfortune, the Unbroken, just going on and on and on, and it kind of got to the point where it sounded like naming the titles of Khaleesi in that one episode of GOT. But if that's not the most powerful thing you could ever feel like, is just having somebody rattle off all of your titles and achievements to somebody new, and then just sitting there with a smug grin on your face, that's a pretty powerful feeling. Keelan, I think, is the extension of myself that I never got to be. She's very chaotic and very chaotic neutral. She only looks out for herself and the people that she cares about most. She doesn't care about rules, but she's not evil. She's not good either. She just does what needs to be done when she feels like doing it. She's very, like characters like Captain Jack Sparrow are like that, right? Like, you can go Google a bunch of alignment charts based off of anything you could think of, and they'll give you more examples. She's definitely in that category, although whenever something really bad happens, she can dip down into that chaotic evil bubble. She can be kind of scary. There was another point towards the end of the campaign when the party was split up completely, and she had no idea where anyone was, and she ran to the first place she could think of to get in touch with somebody who is basically a water goddess. But when she got there, she didn't answer, and she was just screaming for anybody who would, and when nobody could answer her, she started screaming to the BBEG, to the wind as it's storming on the beach, and swore to end his life, because she hadn't really cared up until that point. She didn't have much motivation to be against the BBEG other than, oh, it's what my friends are doing. And I guess it'll be a good payoff when we get there. But that made it very personal, so she, in a thunderstorm of her own making, swore to end him with her own two hands on a beach. I really need to draw that scene, but it's going to be so complicated with the lightning and the sand and all of that. And when lightning strikes sand, it turns to glass. So that beach is entirely made of glass now. And it's a memorial to everything that she had gone through and accomplished. And I definitely won't spoil the ending for you and who actually got the final kill, but maybe she did get her own, maybe she didn't. Who knows? And I hope a lot. I really hope to do more of these videos and tell you more stories about these characters, and I think I'll expand a little bit on this whenever I draw the OG pirate. And I know I said last time that that was going to be next, but to be honest, I completely forgot about it, and then I started drawing this, and here we are. So sometimes schedules don't always work out, kids, and it comes around in the end anyway. So there's a couple things on my agenda left to do, and he's definitely one of them. Left to draw, so you'll see him eventually, I promise, and you'll get a lot more insight into him and her and their relationship, and oh my god, I can't wait to tell you all about it. It's hard to dodge spoilers though. If you have any questions, please let me know. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna leave this here and let you enjoy the last bits of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye! Alright, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like and a comment, especially my fellow rogue mains. I want to hear from you. Stay tuned for more drawings like this. I'm really excited for what's coming in September, and we'll see you all next time. Bye!